I have a question for you, Alex. And I want you to be completely, brutally honest.
Oh no. That never leads to anything good. What is it?
If you had to choose between doing 3 hours of intense, complicated spreadsheet work, or going to a 1 hour networking event where you have to talk to strangers, which one do you choose?
Oh, that is not even a question. I will take the spreadsheets. Give me the spreadsheets. I will build you a spreadsheet so beautiful you will cry. Just do not make me go to the networking event.
I knew it. You are a classic introvert.
I am not an introvert. I love people. I love my friends. I love talking. But small talk is my natural enemy. It drains my battery in exactly 4 minutes.
4 minutes? That is impressive. Most people last at least 10 minutes before they start looking for the exit.
No, I'm serious. The moment someone asks me, "So, what do you do?" or crazy weather we're having, right? My brain just shuts down. I know the answers. I know the vocabulary. But I freeze. I feel like I'm performing, not talking.
That is such a relatable feeling. Small talk feels like a performance because, in a way, it is. You're trying to find common ground. You are trying to be polite. And if you're doing it in a second language, the pressure is doubled.
Exactly. In my language, I can be charming. I can make a joke about the weather. I can smoothly transition from talking about the rain to talking about a new movie. But in English, I just say, "Yes, it is raining. I have an umbrella." And then, silence. Dead. Awkward silence.
And then you both just stare at each other while mentally screaming for help.
Yes. And the worst part is, I know there are phrases for this. I have read articles. How to break the ice. How to keep the conversation flowing. But when I'm actually standing there, holding a plastic cup of warm water, none of those articles help me.
Let's pause there. Because I think a lot of our listeners are nodding right now. The gap between knowing the theory and actually doing it in real life is huge. Tell me about a time this went really wrong for you. Give me a specific story.
Oh, I have a terrible one. It was about a year ago. I went to a tech conference in my city. I promised myself I would be brave. I would network. I would make connections.
I love this already. You went in with high hopes.
I did. And for the first 20 minutes, it was fine. I said hello. I shook hands. I survived. But then, I got trapped
Trapped? By who?
by a guy named Mark. Mark was very enthusiastic. He had a startup, and he wanted to tell me everything about his startup. The vision, the blockchain integration, the synergy, all of it. And I was standing there, nodding, saying, "Wow, that is interesting. And really?"
The classic nod and smile? The survival toolkit.
Exactly. But after 15 minutes, I needed to escape. My feet hurt. I wanted to get a coffee, and I had literally no idea what he was talking about anymore. So, I decided it was time to use a professional exit strategy.
Okay. I am bracing myself. What did you say to Mark?
I waited for him to take a breath, and I said, very seriously. Mark, this is very good. But I do not want to be a monopoly of your time. I must go to speak to the other peoples now.
A monopoly of your time.
Yes,
Alex? No.
I said it. With total confidence. I do not want to be a monopoly of your time.
I am crying. I am actually crying. What did Mark's face do?
He just blinked. He looked at me like I had just spoken ancient Latin. And then he said, slowly, okay. Alex, thanks. Good luck. And he literally turned his back to me and walked away.
He walked away. Oh my gosh. I cannot breathe.
I stood there for a full minute, holding my warm water, realizing what I had just said. A monopoly. I meant to say, I don't want to monopolize your time, or I don't want to keep you. But my brain grabbed the wrong word, and I delivered it like a formal business decree.
I must go to speak to the other peoples now. It sounds like you were a king dismissing a peasant from your court.
That is exactly how it felt. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. I spent the rest of the conference hiding near the snack table, pretending to be very interested in the arrangement of the grapes.
Okay. First of all, that is a fantastic story. Second of all, I promise you, Mark probably forgot about it 5 minutes later. He was too busy thinking about his blockchain synergy.
Logically, I know that, but emotionally, I still cringe when I think about it. It just highlights how dangerous it is to try and use fancy vocabulary when you're nervous.
It really is. And that is a great lesson for our listeners. When you are in a high pressure social situation, simple is always better. You do not need to sound like a Victorian novelist. You just need to be clear and polite.
So, what should I have said? Give me the magic phrase.
There are a few natural B2 level ways to exit a conversation gracefully. The most common and polite one is, well, I don't want to keep you, but it was great hearing about your project.
I don't want to keep you. That is so much softer.
Exactly. It implies that you value their time, without sounding like a legal contract. Another great one is, I'm going to go grab a coffee, but let's connect on LinkedIn.
Let's connect on LinkedIn. I like that. It gives a clear next step, and it physically allows you to walk away.
Yes, it is an exit with a purpose. You are not just running away, you are moving on to the next logical action.
Okay, I'm writing these down. I don't want to keep you. And let's connect on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Now, since we are on the topic of awkward social situations, I want to try something with you. A little role play.
Oh no, not again. My heart rate is already going up.
Come on. It will be fun. And it is good practice. I'm going to be Mark. I am the enthusiastic startup guy at the conference. You're going to practice starting the conversation, keeping it going for a moment, and then executing a smooth, professional exit. Ready?
Okay, I can do this. I have my phrases. I am ready.
Great. Shifts posture. Becomes overly enthusiastic. Hi there. I I'm Mark. I couldn't help but notice your badge. Are you enjoying the conference so far?
Um, Hi, Mark. Yes, it is very good. I'm Alex. I work in software development.
That is awesome. I'm actually launching a new app that uses AI to optimize software development workflows. It's going to completely disrupt the industry.
Wow, that sounds very disruptive. Tell me more about how it works.
Well, it's all about the synergy between the cloud infrastructure and the user interface. We are basically leveraging blockchain to create a decentralized coding environment.
Okay, I have heard enough. Takes a deep breath. Well, Mark, this is very interesting. But I do not want to be a monopoly of your time. I must go to the other people's.
Breaks character. Laughing. Alex, we just talked about this.
I panicked. The word monopoly just jumped out of my mouth. It has a mind of its own.
It is a trauma response. Your brain is protecting you by using the wrong word. Okay? Let's reset. Take a breath. You are a confident professional. You value his time. But you need to leave. Try again.
Okay. Reset. Clears throat. Well, Mark, it was really great hearing about your app. It sounds like a very ambitious project.
Excellent start. Very polite. Now, the exit.
However, I don't want to keep you. I'm going to go grab a coffee and check out the next panel. But let's connect on LinkedIn.
Yes, that was flawless. Do you hear how natural that sounded? You acknowledged his story. You stated your boundary politely. And you offered a professional next step.
It feels a little bit like a script, but I can see how it works. It takes the emotion out of it.
Exactly. When you're nervous, having a mental script is your best friend. It frees up your brain to focus on your body language and your tone, rather than searching for vocabulary.
That makes sense. But what about when you're in a group? That is even harder.
Ah, the group dynamic. The final boss of small talk.
Yes, in a group of native speakers. They talk so fast. They interrupt each other. They finish each other's sentences. They use inside jokes. I just stand there, smiling, nodding, waiting for a pause that never comes. And if I finally manage to say something, everyone is already talking about a new topic.
I hear this from so many learners. It feels like you are trying to merge onto a highway. But the cars are going 100 miles an hour, and no one will let you in.
That is the perfect description. I feel invisible. And then I start thinking, my English is not good enough for this. I should just stay quiet.
I want to challenge that thought right now. Alex, your English is excellent. The problem is not your English. The problem is the cultural pacing of American conversations.
What do you mean by cultural pacing?
In many cultures, conversations have a clear turn, taking structure. One person speaks, they finish. The next person speaks. In American culture, especially in groups, conversation is often collaborative and overlapping. People interrupt to show they are engaged, not to be rude.
Really? I always thought they were just being rude or that I was too slow.
Not at all. It is just a different rhythm. And because you are listening for a perfect silent pause to jump in, you miss the micro pauses where you could actually speak.
So how do I merge onto the highway?
You have to be a little bit assertive. You do not have to shout, but you can use physical cues and short, clear phrases to enter the conversation. For example, leaning in slightly, making eye contact with the person speaking, and using a phrase like, "That reminds me of," or "I totally agree," and
That reminds me of... I like that. It is a bridge.
"Exactly." It is a conversational bridge. You are not interrupting aggressively, you are connecting your thought to theirs. Another great one is, "Sorry to jump in, but..."
Sorry to jump in, but I had a similar experience last year.
Perfect, see? You are doing it right now. You are taking control of the conversation.
It feels a little scary, but also empowering. Like I have permission to take up space.
You absolutely have permission. Your perspective is valuable. If you stay quiet, the group misses out on what you have to say.
That is a really nice way to look at it. I usually just think I'm saving them from my bad grammar.
They do not care about your grammar as much as you think they do. They care about the connection. If you say, "Sorry to jump in, but I had a similar experience," nobody is mentally grading your prepositions. They are just thinking, "Oh, Alex has a story. Let's hear it."
I need to remember that. They are grading the connection, not the grammar.
Yes, write that on a sticky note. Put it on your monitor.
I will. Okay, Sophia. Since you are so good at this, I want to test you. Rapid Fire Scenario Game. Group Conversation Edition.
Oh, I am ready. I have survived many awkward group dinners. Hit me.
Scenario 1. You are in a group of 4 people. 2 of them are arguing about a movie, and you have no idea what movie they are talking about. What do you say to join in?
I would wait for a breath, smile, and say, "Sorry to jump in, but I have to ask, what movie are we talking about?" Because I am completely lost.
Good. Honest. Funny. And it resets the conversation. Scenario 2. Someone asks you a direct question in the middle of a group chat, but you didn't hear them because it was too loud.
I would lean in and say, "I'm so sorry. It's a bit loud in here. Could you repeat that last part for me?"
Simple. Polite. No shame. Scenario 3. You want to leave the group, but you do not want to be rude and just walk away.
I would catch someone's eye, smile, and say, "It's been so great talking to you all. I'm going to go say hi to a colleague over there, but I'll catch up with you later."
I'll catch up with you later. That is a great phrase. It leaves the door open without making a firm promise.
Exactly. It is the perfect social lubricant.
You make it look so easy.
It is only easy because I have made all the mistakes already. I have said the wrong things. I have been trapped in conversations, and I have felt invisible. It is a skill. Alex, And like any skill, it gets better with practice.
I guess I just need to give myself permission to be a little awkward sometimes.
Yes, embrace the awkwardness. Own it. If you use the wrong word, laugh at yourself. Say, "Wow, my brain just gave me the wrong word. Let me try that again." People love that. It makes you human.
My brain just gave me the wrong word. I might actually use that. It is better than pretending I meant to say monopoly.
Much better. And honestly, Alex, you are doing great. The fact that you are even going to these events, that you are trying to connect, that is what matters. Fluency is not about being perfect. Fluency is about being willing to engage, even when it is uncomfortable.
Thank you, Sophia. I really needed to hear that today. I think my biggest takeaway is that I do not need to have a perfect, native, level script for every social situation. I just need a few reliable bridges. Like that reminds me of, and the courage to use them.
That is a beautiful takeaway. Reliable bridges and the courage to use them. I am definitely stealing that for my next class.
Please do. Just do not say I was a monopoly of your time.
I make no promises. All right? Everyone. That is going to do it for today's episode. If you struggle with small talk, or if you have ever felt invisible in a group conversation, remember this: you have a right to take up space. Your voice matters, even if it comes with a few awkward moments.
And if you ever get trapped by a startup guy at a conference, just remember, you do not want to keep him, and you're going to get a coffee.
Exactly. We will see you all next time. Bye, Alex.
Bye, Sophia.